Hey YouTube, what is going on? So in today's video tutorial, we're going to talk about how you can create your own pad sound within the free soft synth Vital. So I'm going to open Vital up here and I have an initialized patch set up. It's just a saw wave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into here and I'm going to change the wavetable from a saw to something else. So let's just kind of cycle through here. And let's change this to 3D mode so we can kind of sweep through here and find a spot that we like. So there's kind of an interesting timbre going on there. So none of this has been planned ahead of time. I don't know what it's going to end up sounding like, but this is the basic sound design principle of creating a pad within any synthesizer, really. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to enable unison to give it a wider sound. Put some more voices in. You can change the detune to make it sound wider and less in sync if you want. Just find a spot that sounds good to you. We can go into the advanced tab here. I can turn on a high resolution wavetable, and I mean, it doesn't do a ton, but again, if your CPU can handle it, it just provides a little bit of extra sound quality. And we can change the settings of the unison, how stereo we want it, how much blend we want, these types of things. So let's just mess with this for a second. Okay, let's work with that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to mess with the amp envelope a little bit. So I'm going to increase the attack so that the sound swells in instead of, right now you hit a key and it comes in right away. So you get a swell. And I will mess around with the decay and sustain as well, which determine how long the sound stays on for and at what level. So the decay is, if I move the sustain down, you can see that the level will drop here, and then the decay is how long it takes for that level to drop. So if we have it like this, level comes down really quick. If you extend it, it takes longer for the level to come down. So let's work with something like this. We'll also extend the release. So that is how long it takes for the sound to go down to basically 0 after you release a key. Right. So let's put this into a filter here. We'll route this into filter 1. Let's put some drive. And what we can do here is I can tell it to kind of open up using that envelope here. And now let's route filter 1 into filter 2. And change the filter here to something with some more character. So, I don't know, let's try comb filter. And then let's use this LFO to modulate the mix of this filter a little bit so the effect comes in and out. That's pretty extreme right now, so let's bring it down. And maybe we can change this to a random time here in seconds so that things aren't so repetitive. Maybe let's route this as well to the cutoff and see what we get. Okay, so we have a little bit of interest going on. Let's add a second oscillator in here and put it an octave down. This is going to give us a little bit more weight in some of the lower harmonics. And we'll make sure to route that into filter 1. And let's enable unison. Okay, let us put the mod wheel as well onto the frequency here so that when we open the mod wheel up, we get more highs let through. And we can go into the matrix and change the amount if we want, because that's pretty extreme. So. And we'll go into our effects section here and we'll add a little bit of chorus, more interest to the sound once again. You can change the depth. Let's use this LFO to modulate the mix amount. And that's sounding kind of linear right now, so I'm wondering if what we can do is remove this and go into the random oscillator here and use that to change the mix amount of the chorus so that we get more of a different effect every single time that we play a chord or note or whatever. Let's bring an EQ in and put that at the very start, and we're gonna roll off some of the lows just because if we had a bass or something of this sort in our mix, you know, that would be muddying things up. Maybe we can find an area within the EQ that we want to boost a little bit. And let's add some distortion before the chorus to give more saturation and character and fill out some of the harmonics within the sound. Let's add some flange as well for more movement. We'll change the center to give it more effect in the upper area of the frequency spectrum. Let's put a reverb now, and we will dampen some of the lows and the highs as well, and apply this pretty subtly. Or if you want to go full blown, you could actually just blast the reverb and have the sound sit really far in the back of your mix. But we're just going to go for a little bit of spatial effect here, so. And I'm thinking we can adjust the attack a little too here. Let's use this LFO to change the panning of our oscillators here. So I'm going to adjust the amount and change this to bipolar. So now we're going back and forth in the stereo field, and I'll do that for our first wavetable 2. And I'm going to switch it so that when one goes right, the other goes left. let us, you know what, let's try routing this envelope to the wavetable position here and see if we can get kind of a sweep. Actually, no, let's use the random one. Let's do that, see what that sounds like. So you can get some drastically different sounds by sweeping through wavetables like this, which is pretty interesting, and you can use whatever modulation you want to sweep through those wavetables. And now I'm going to put something on top here. So I'm going to transpose this wavetable up, and you know what, let's just go with something like, I don't know, maybe let's do a quad saw here. See if we can find a spot that we like, and we'll put this in subtly so we can add just a little bit of sparkle and shine to the top of the pad. Yeah, so you know what, let's make this unison higher and spread it right out in the top end here. Yeah, so that's getting to a point where it's sounding pretty interesting. Again, you can use a lot of these different envelopes and modulators to change the way that your sound sounds. So mess around with these parameters and find something that works for your mix. Hopefully you guys learned something today. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and we will see you in the next one.